strategize together. Let's hear it from an expert. Join the conversation, it's informative and free. You and me, let's talk some strategy. Now here's your host, Dorien Morin-van.
Hello, everybody. I am your host, Dorien Morin-van, and I am back with another episode of Strategy Talks, where today we're going to talk about live shopping. So what does that mean if you're a business owner, if you're a marketer, you want to know about this latest trend? And I have an expert with me today. But before we do, I want to do a welcome to everybody who's here live with us. Put in the comments where you're joining us from. If you're joining us for the replay, put hashtag replay in the comments, and a special welcome to those of you who continue to listen to Strategy Talks as a podcast. We welcome you. I want to do a shout out to our sponsor, Social Insider. They are the intuitive dashboard for social media analytics, reporting, and competitors analysis for brands and agencies. If you need data, you need Social Insider. So without much further ado, I'm going to add to the screen, for those of you watching, my guest for today. His name is George Conti, and George has 2+ years of experience in live shopping, which is our topic for today, for reactive, ranging from being the evangelist to the architect. And before that, he has 20+ years of experience architecting IT on-premise and cloud-based solutions. So George, you are an expert on live shopping. So let's dive right in. What is live shopping? Can you define it for our audience? And how does it differ from e-commerce?
Well, Dorien, thank you for having me on your show. Really appreciate this opportunity to talk about live shopping with you for our audience out there. Yeah, so this is the question that we get all the time. You know, what is live shopping, and why is it special? Why is it different? What can it do for me that I can't do with my existing e-commerce application today? And technology really is at the core of this. You know, technology makes live shopping different. So with the technology that we have today, believe it or not, consumers really can, I'll say, almost go past the website that you build, right, and connect directly with the merchant itself, right? And when you connect directly with the merchant, then what you get is you get the ability to better understand the product features that the merchant is selling, to be able to get your questions answered, and to have more confidence in your purchasing decisions. And you know, live shopping really is about, when you do this, it's really about creating a deeper connection with the consumer, and creating a community around your brand, which will ultimately drive more sales for your company. You know, never before have merchants had the ability to use live interactive video in order to sell their products. And live shopping gives merchants the ability to really showcase their products, features, and benefits, and answer customer questions in a way that basically a flat website does not give you the ability to do. And go ahead.
Yeah, no. So I just want to frame this. I don't know if you remember, those of you listening and watching, George and I were talking about in the green room when Facebook Live first came out in 2016, 17. There were a lot of people who were involved with home shopping, home selling, and they would go Facebook Live, and they had this elaborate setup and hold up numbers, and people could bid on things and people would sell. That is not what we're talking about, right, George? This is a sophisticated way to sell on your own website, correct?
Correct. So there's a variety of different ways that forms of live shopping that have happened over time, right? And it continues to evolve. So I would kind of categorize it really in three different groups. One is you have the social media channels, which you talked about. You have your Facebook Lives, right? People can comment and they can buy products through the comments in a Facebook Live setting. You got TikTok. You got WhatsApp. You've got You used to have Instagram. That now they're not doing it any longer, but all these social channels are really your first wave. And then there was the second wave, which was the marketplaces, like your Amazon Live marketplace, your Market Live, right? These types of places. And now what's really emerging is live shopping on your website itself, on the merchant's website. And the benefit that you get when you have it on your own website is, one is you're in complete control then of the show. You don't have to follow the rules of a social media site. You don't have to follow the rules of a marketplace. You really can do it the way you want to do it. And then you collect all the data that's associated with it. A lot of times when you use these other platforms, you may be able to collect data, but maybe you only collect the data that's associated with people that actually bought the products from you. You don't actually know who was on the webcast with you. But when you do it on your own website, you have the ability to collect all that data. You're able to see who was on the website, be able to remarket to them later on after the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I love this. So I just wanted to frame this for those who are watching and listening. So this is like the third revolution, or the third, it was the social media sites. Then it was, live shopping on Amazon. We see that. I mean, in the old way is, QVC. Remember that? Those infomercials where, at 3 a.m. you're buying, diamond earrings or the perfect underwear that you didn't know you needed, right? This is a different way. This is you already having an e-commerce store, most likely, but now doing live shopping of your products on your own website. So you drive traffic from different places, your email list from all the places that you are, to your website, and that's where you sell. So I just want to give people a visual, George, for especially those who are listening. If they are thinking about having live shopping on their website, I'm assuming that includes video. Does it include like a type of like a webinar? Is it a full screen? I just wanted people who are sitting here going, I have a client that has a bunch of products, and it would do so much better if we could just show them how to use this product live. Or they might be sitting here going, I'm a business owner and I'm sell clothing, and it would be so amazing if I could have a live fashion show. So what can we, if we're thinking about live shopping and having it be on our website, take us through what are some brands that are doing this that you maybe work with or that you've seen do it well, so we can maybe start thinking about other ways that we can use it.
Sure. So I want to also add to the conversation about, what really is the goal of a live shopping show,
Sure.
to kind of get you started.
Yeah.
I think that it's super important to make a connection with your customers, right? And create a community around your brand. Those are things that drive brand awareness. Those are things that drive repeat customers, right? Ultimately drive revenue and success for your company. And the live interactive video, which is really at the core of this, right, gives you the ability to do just that. It gives you the ability to reach out as a merchant, to reach out and live interactively have this conversation with customers about what the product does, right? So that when they want to go ahead and buy, they really then understand that this product is going to work for them specifically. It's not like they're reading a product page that gives them some general information. Well, it may work for me or it may not work for me. In the case of live shopping, it really makes them feel confident that it'll work for them. And you just can't get that with static pages. And also then with live shopping, you have this social proof that comes out. You hear people that'll chime in on the live chat that'll say, well, I like that, or I'm a bigger size and that fit me fine, that worked for me, right? And then people will also then comment and say, well, I like your comments, right? That's the same way I think. So that'll start to build a community around your brand as well, and people will then want to come back because of the community. They'll want to come back because of the social proof. They'll want to come back because they feel confident. And this all is really attributes associated with building that deeper connection through the live streaming and the interaction with your customers.
Okay, so I had a question and I think you just answered it. So it's not a live chat that pops up for somebody individual. It is for everybody to view, right? It's a live shopping experience. You invite people to it. You have a plan. You have almost like a playbook that you go through, like 30 minutes. I'm doing live shopping for the next 30 minutes, and then other people can come in and join the live experience, correct?
Yeah. I mean, if you look today, there's really three pieces that you fundamentally see in live shopping today. One is you have the live video stream, right?
Yep.
Two is you have live chat capabilities, and three is you have a product carousel. Those are mostly the core. There's some things behind that some live shopping products will provide to you. They'll provide more production capabilities behind the scenes. They'll provide more interaction capabilities that allow you to poll audiences within the stream, be able to purchase products within the stream, as opposed to needing to take a coupon code, for example, from the stream and going out and purchasing it on the website. So there's things that reduces the friction associated with live shopping that certain platforms provide that are better, and to make the production easier in certain platforms as well.
And that's a perfect lead into my next question. So do you have some suggestions? Say that people are like ready to do live shopping and they're thinking about all the things they need, right? They're going to need a budget. They're going to need manpower. They're going to need, a playbook to get this started. They need to understand what's needed to run this. So two questions. How often do some of your clients do this live shopping? Is it a weekly, a daily thing? And then the second question is, what are some ways that that you can engage the audience and entertain them, that you have seen, that you've loved, that people just come up with some amazing ideas? I would love to have you answer those two questions.
So many good ideas in that, Doreen. So I'll start and say that usually, the biggest barrier of entry, the biggest question that I hear from customers is, how do I get started?
Right.
They're not really sure. What do I need to do? Do I need to hire an expert in order to help me do a live shopping show, or can I do it myself? What equipment do I need? What should a set be? You have all these questions that pop out, and there are several places you can go for guidance on this. There are a lot of free resources that'll give you checklists for things that you need to do for live shopping.
Sure.
And you don't need expensive equipment in order to do a live shopping show. Cameras today, your cell phone cameras really work pretty well. They can broadcast in HD is typically perfectly fine. You don't even have to do 4K, just regular HD is fine. Sound quality, is usually fine with cell phones as well, although you can jack it up depending upon the environment that you're in, and get more microphones, right? You can have more cameras if you want to showcase products from different angles, so you don't have to move around, right? The tools will all support this. There are a lot of free tools out there, StreamYard, there's OBS, Ecamm. There's a lot of tools out there that can help you create this. And it takes a little bit of I'll say, time and effort to become familiar with these.
Sure.
But you don't have to have an expert come in and do this. You certainly can if you want, if you feel more comfortable. Mm-hmm. It's been the cost associated with live shopping has also been an inhibitor for a lot of, especially for smaller brands, right? They want to get started. I see a lot of interest in smaller brands, and they say, well, but I have to hire an influencer in order to do my show. Well, you know what? You don't have to. If you have a person on staff, and it's usually, a lot of times it's the owner even,
right,
that really understands the product, right? Because they started the company. They know what the
right,
problem is that they're trying to solve. They know what the qualities are of the product. If they're engaging enough, they can certainly do their own live streams, right? You can also work with somebody like an influencer, because it really will amplify your influencer marketing campaign. So for example, today, if you are using an influencer, I would say that a lot of the goals of using an influencer is around driving brand awareness, not necessarily driving sales, but eventually drive sales. But you want them to get your name out there, right? You want
sure,
them to,
yeah.
You want people to think about, when they're looking for a product of your type, you want them to come to your site. Now, if you supercharge this and bring them onto your site, they bring their following with them, right? And then you do a live show with them. So now you kind of take it to the next level. Now you want them to essentially take the personality of your brand. You want them to, first of all, you want those people to be the type of person that represents your brand, right? And then you want them to provide the same messaging that you provide on your site during that live stream shopping show, right? So you want to echo your whole marketing campaign
Sure,
through your
sure.
live shopping show,
Yeah.
right? So yes, you can do it yourself. You can do it with common equipment. You don't have to have experts do it. There are agencies out there, full agencies, and my company will also help you produce the live show as well. And it can be done fairly inexpensively, right? I think certainly so that it makes financial sense for you. You don't have to be a big brand in order to do this. You don't have to sell, $100,000 or $1 million worth of a product during a live show for this to make sense for you.
Sure. So I can actually, for those of you watching and listening, I can draw that parallel. It sounds like the people that are going to be successful with live shopping are the same people who are successful online on social media. If you're a business owner, if you're the CEO of your small company, if you're the one who is going to the trade shows and buying the products and feeling them and making the buying decisions for your company, and then have staff, you should probably be the one to start that live shopping channel and be the spokesperson initially, because you will be able to talk the talk that draws in the right audience, because you fully understand the uniqueness of your product, and then you can bring in other people. The other question that I wanted to go to, George, was about doing it live. I mean, you and I are live right now, and we're on a couple of different channels, and we're telling people that they can leave comments. But when you're selling, you want people to have opinions. You want people to ask questions. How do you get that part? Are there some fun ways that you've seen people do this? Is this with props, or is there a way to ask questions, or do you do a mini dance-a-thon? What do you have to do to get people to be there and to make it fun?
Yeah, these are great questions. So there's really two questions, like you said, to be there and to make it fun, to get interaction, right? Well, first of all, to get people to be there, that's not really very different than what you're doing today, right? You can use all your channels today that you're attracting people to your website. You can use your email list, use your social channels, right? And I'm sure you're doing that for this show, the same type of an approach. Whatever contact points you have, use those same contact points to advertise, right? And when you do that, you want to use I'll call it a hook, in order to get them interested to see the show. Like, give them some reason in your messaging that would make them want to come and watch the show. That's really going to be important for you. Here's here's five. We're going to talk about, 5 different products, which is going to help you, take care of your or decorate your home for the holidays, right? And then that'll be a holiday show, and this way they'll say, oh yeah, the holidays coming up, I'd like to watch the show. They're going to have a specialized show based on this event, the holidays, and they'll give me some ideas on how to decorate. So that's really important, just to get that notion of what the agenda is of the show and the hook associated with the show. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I forgot what the other.
And then during the show, once you got them.
Oh yeah,
how are some people? What are some creative ways?
Capabilities,
yeah.
Right. So content is really is super important as part of the show for you to have an engaging process. So you want to mark this out. You want to lay it out, plan it out ahead of time. The whole series of events associated with the show, and you want to make sure that you have enough interaction points with the customers, with your consumers, to keep them engaged. And the way you can do that is you can be asking questions. The host can be asking questions to the audience, and some tools even have polling capabilities built right into them. So you can poll the audience and you can find out what they think about a particular topic, right? Is this top going to go good with slacks? Is it going to go good with trousers? Is it going to go good with chinos? Ask those questions and let people think about that and provide their opinions. And people always want to be involved, and that creates that engaging engaging environment. And the community capabilities, I think I started to mention before, is something you want to encourage. You want somebody to respond to the chat. You just don't want to do a live streaming video. There's a big difference between live streaming and live shopping, in that live streaming, you're not selling. You want questions with live streaming, but you really need so much more interaction with live shopping. Live shopping that you want to promote.
That might make sense. So I want to get to that next question of, how do you define a successful live shopping experience or campaign for the seller?
Sure.
So the brand that is doing this, how can they measure success? How should they measure success? And with that comes that question. I love that you bring up community. I'm a community manager. I have built communities. I understand the value of community. Sometimes I think when I think about live shopping, I can think of established brands and established companies that this would work so well for, right? Because they already have the community. So if you're a small brand and you're just getting started and you don't have that community, it seems like really a big push to start live shopping if you are not really expecting or don't have a big online audience. I think you can pull them from different places, like you said, your email list and your socials. But that when you're a small company, when you're just getting started, what I heard you say earlier is work with influencers because they bring their audience. That makes the most sense. But if you already have an established community, this could be a home run for you, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a home run. And even if you don't have a community, I mean, you build it up over time. One way I think that people, so for example, I like to use this as an example. It's a personal example for me. I love to drink wine. And when I buy a bottle of wine, I'm always looking for the story behind the wine, right? And now when people come to my house and we serve a bottle of wine, the first thing they ask me is, George, what's the story behind the wine, right? And that's what you want to do too when you do these live shows. You want to be able to connect with people, right? You want to tell your stories about the product that you have, because they really appreciate and remember the stories associated with your product. And that will cause them to come back again, right? That'll cause them to be a little bit viral, I'll say, and to tell their friends about the product, because they'll have this notion of a story which they can use to explain as well. And you will build up a community over time through even if you start small with a small group of people.
That makes sense. So let's go a little bit more technical. You are part of a company called
Reactive Streaming.
Okay. And reactive streaming is a tool that allows a company, a person, a brand to go live on their website.
Yeah, so we are in that third category of live shopping. We empower merchants to go live on their website, and this way that we give them the rights to all the video. We give them the rights to all the data that's collected associated with it. We give them gamified sales tools. So when you look at what your customer segmentation is today, our niche, I think, is more focused towards millennials, people who are selling to millennials and to Gen Z customers. And not that we don't sell to boomers. I certainly am a boomer, and I would appreciate this. But we have gamified sales tools which help you to entertain. So we really didn't talk about the entertainment factor so much as part of a live shopping show. But that connection, that deeper connection, is built from entertainment as well. So our tools are built specifically to make live shopping fun and engaging.
I love that. So the question comes, and I know that somebody's going to ask this question, so I'm going to ask it. Does it work with any website? Do you have to have WordPress, or do you have a certain kind of website? Is this a tool that integrates with any website? Are there plugins? How does this work? Is it a standalone dashboard that gets to put on? I'm just asking some technical questions because people are going to go, "Whoa,
Sure.
I want reactive," but before they go and seek you out, those are probably some questions that pop in their head.
Sure. Yeah. So reactive will work with any website. Okay. It's especially easy to work with a Shopify website.
Okay.
Okay. And the reason is that we pre-built the integration in with Shopify websites so that we automatically will import all your products for you. So you simply just in 90 seconds or less, you're installing our app into your Shopify store. All your products are installed into, made available to Reactive, and you can start to use us. All you need to do then is hook up your cameras.
That's amazing. That's amazing, because that is what I wanted to get to. Because if you work with a company, if you have an e-commerce store, you know that Shopify is really where it's at. And if you already have that set up and you're already selling, you already have that piece, live shopping can make a huge difference.
Right.
And so measuring success there would be to set up this tool, to do some live shopping, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, start exploring with it. And if your sales go up, there's your proof, right?
Yeah. And, so in terms of results, you talked about metrics before you want to measure.
Yeah.
What I would measure too is I'd measure conversion rate, right? I think we find people will get, as high as 30% conversion rate from the shows. And certainly I've seen, some of our customers increase their sales associated with the shows by 150%. So you can certainly use those sales metrics to drive your success. I would also use metrics like site visits as a success to live shopping. But not only do you want people to buy during the show, but you want them to have that brand awareness and come back to your site as well. So overall, you'd want to see an uptick in the revenue associated with your site. The number of views is an indication of kind of success. And you do want to have live shopping shows on a regular basis, depending upon the products that you sell. It might be appropriate to have a live shopping show anywhere from every day to, maybe once a month, but it'd be good to have some sort of a regular cadence associated with it that your customers can come back. Even it could even be twice a year, might even be a cadence. For example, if you were, I'll use wine as another example. If you have a spring and a fall release on your wines, people will look forward to those shows that happen at those times of the year because that's the cadence associated with the products that you sell.
That makes a lot of sense. Hey, George, we're almost out of time, but I wanted to talk about what is the future for live shopping. We were talking about that in the green room. What do you see coming for 2023 and beyond? What's happening in the industry, and when and how should people, jump on this?
Yeah, so I certainly see there's a migration starting from the social media channels and the marketplaces to websites, sure. Right? And I say that not only because we're a part of that website offering, but because I see that you have things like cookies are being removed from service, and people will need to be able to collect first party data associated with their customers, right? They're not going to get that. So when you go to the website, you get a lot more data in order to target. And like I said before, then you're free to do whatever you want to do as well. So I see that migration happening to the website. I also see some technologies that I expect will start to creep into live shopping as well. Things like augmented reality, right? Be able to, as part of the show, not only to have the host of the show hold the product up and show it to you in detail or answer your questions, but for you to see what yourself looks like right during the live show in order to help you make a better decision. And I also see things like AI creeping in as well with the chat capabilities to be able to, when to answer questions associated with chat, AI will be able to scale us up. Right now, a lot of live shopping shows potentially are maybe in the tens or the hundreds or the thousands of viewers, but eventually, right, the live shopping technology, there's no reason why it can't be in the millions of viewers.
Sure.
So you can imagine that you have to be able to scale your live shopping chat platform in order to help those viewers out as well. So I see
that makes a lot of sense. Those are all exciting things that are coming, exciting trends that are coming. Well, George, Tell us again, for those who are listening, those who are watching, what your platform is, how they can find it, and how to connect with you if they want more information.
Sure. Well, our website URL is https://www.reactive, reactive.live, Live. And
Okay,
you can connect with me.
reactive.live.
Yeah, reactive.live. And you can connect with me through email. My email address is george@reactive.live. So thank you very much, Doreen, for having me today. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. I've learned a lot about live shopping, and I love, I've kind of seen the different iterations, and I love that it's now on website. It integrates with Shopify. If you have e-commerce, if you have a Shopify store, if you want more sales, go check out reactive.live and connect with George. Is really fascinating to see what the next iteration of live shopping is. And George, thank you so much for being here. I will be back next week with another episode of Strategy Talks. Thank you so much for watching and listening live. Bye, everybody.
Bye.